Now, why has there been such a sharp rise in how many people are turning to charity to put food on the table? You'd have thought the government might want to know more. But the boss of Britain's biggest food bank network, the Trussell Trust, says there's now no way of finding out because the official gathering of information on why families are referred to them has been stopped. It comes after the Education Secretary, Michael Gove, suggested families often go to food banks because of their own poor budgeting. Paraic O'Brien reports.
Spaghetti and a rice.
Right.
Okay. No tea, just coffee.
Right.
So we put a big coffee on.
Think food bank. Suburban Surrey doesn't immediately spring to mind.
Sugar, small.
I've done sugar.
Okay.
They've fed 1,600 people here in just under a year.
It's somebody called Ralph.
Ralph?
Yeah.
It's Ralph's third time here. He was referred by Citizens Advice.
People who come in here are just really desperate to have some food. Without it, people will suffer.
But to what extent are you in this situation because of choices that you've made?
It's not my choice. This is I'm ill, and I can't get any help.
There are complicated reasons why people use food banks more and more. In Parliament this week, Michael Gove suggested some use them because of bad budgetary choices. Labour saw red.
It just shows how out of touch this Conservative Party is.
And the Prime Minister came back with this.
We should work with and thank the food bank movement for the excellent work that they do. We should recognise that the use of food banks went up 10 times under Labour. One of the reasons it's increased under this government is because we took the block that her party put in place that was preventing job centres from referring people to food banks. They didn't do it because it was bad PR. Well, this government's interested in doing the right thing rather than just something that looks good.
2 baked beans.
So the government wants to say thanks and work closely with them. How's that relationship going then? It started well. As the PM said 2 years ago, they started allowing job centres to refer people to food banks. But since the Welfare Reform Act went live earlier this year, things have turned a little sour. This man runs the biggest food bank network.
We had a good agreement. The DWP reneged on that agreement without any consultation, and as a consequence, up and down the country, we have muddle, confusion and chaos.
An example of what he means. Until recently, the job centre form had a box saying why they were referring people to a food bank. It meant useful information gleaned nationally about why people needed help. In April, though, a technical change meant it made sense for one part of the why do you need a food bank section to disappear from the new form, which it did. It made less sense for the entire part about why people were being referred to be erased, which it was.
We speculate that this is because they don't want us to count and calculate the number of people who are being referred who are struggling because of benefit changes and benefit delays.
The government say this isn't the case, that they're committed to working with food banks. David and Ed can argue it out during another Prime Minister's question time. Edgar and Vanessa can now get through until about Tuesday.